Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. If you can hear me, please write in the chat area just to see that everything is okay with the communication. Thank you, Marina. Andrea, can you hear me? Okay, Rafael, thank you. Okay, and again, thank you for joining us to this webinar.
We have
What?
a minute. I wrote in the chat because I see that Carmen, Marina.
Okay, they will join us.
No, I'm not sure if they can hear.
We will start, okay? Thank you for joining us again. And this webinar is part of our ICT in education program, and is also part of the course Public Space as a Mobile Learning Environment, which Talila Yehiel is the lecturer in this course. I will present Talila, then we will start with the webinar. Talila Yehiel graduated from the Ceramic Design Department at Bezalel Academy of Art. She also holds a master's degree from the History of Art Department at Tel Aviv University. She has extensive experience in teaching students at all levels, as well as in mentoring teachers. Talila has been involved in the creation of special tailor-made sites from museum visits, a project called Learning Based on Location, The Wandering. She has tried it out on various groups of students and adults, wandering around an exhibition hall by means of this site gets people involved and encourage them to interact with the exhibits. I hope that you will find the webinar interesting and useful. Talila, the microphone is yours, please.
Okay, shalom and welcome from everybody. We will wait a few minutes for all participants to be present in class. So meanwhile, you can write where you come from, what level of education do you teach at? Do you take part in the activities connected to your cultural area heritage? So we will know each other. Andrea is from Colombia, and we have Rafael from Costa Rica. So let's write in the chat, or if you want to present yourself, you can ask beside your name, there are 3 icons. So I hope that you will take an active part during the webinar. You can hear us well, so raise your hand or give us an icon that you can hear us well. Efrat, can you hear us? Mariana? Jeanette, can you hear us? Please give us an icon so we can we will be able to know that you hear us. Okay. Carmen, can you hear us? Andrea, can you hear us? You can raise your hand. Okay, great. So during the webinar, when you're ready to answer my question, you can raise your hand and Arya will open the mic for you. So I would like to introduce myself and my experience in creating meaningful learning environments outdoors, indoors. I am an artist and art and science educator. I have been wandering around the globe in the last 4 years, creating interactive maps and sites with students and professionals for mobile learning. Today, you will get an introduction to my course. The angel you see was made from pistols that were collected in rural communities around Mexico and then exchanged for computers. Now, the angel is on display in the president's residence in Mexico City, where I was a visiting lecturer last year. The boats are floating, waiting for sailors in the marina in Seattle. These are examples of an object and a place of interest. When you stand in front of the angel or when you walk around the marina, all your senses should be involved in the experience. Now, I would like to show you how these places become learning sites for the community with the help of mobile technology. My dream is to help you to create an experimental learning map filled with meaningful activities around your cities. If you have questions during my talk, you can type them on the chat and I'm ready to answer your questions. Here is an example for our final project. You see Vienna Interactive Experimental Map. Curators, educators, and scientists from museums and the Botanical Garden in Vienna join forces to create the interactive map with my professional support. Participants that will take part in the Digital Heritage Conference will explore the city with the site. How can we create a learning communities in our cities? This is our topic for this webinar. Our supportive platform is the Wandering. The creation of the Wandering platform was inspired by the great philosopher Walter Benjamin. Philosopher Walter Benjamin defined the difference between a tourist in the city and a wandering person. The tourist has a map and goes from one famous monument to the other. He reaches the monument, he tells to himself, I was here, and moves on. The wandering man leaves the main road, looks for a narrow alley where he meets locals, tastes the food the natives eat, and chats with the barber or the shoemaker. The wanderer is relaxed, and that enables him to fill the place with all his senses. Bev, your microphone is open. Do you have a question? I see one microphone is open. Bev Williams. So we will follow Benjamin philosophy, and nowadays when we talk about smart cities, we think about education. Our challenge is to connect with outdoors, indoors. And the supportive platform, the supportive technology is the Wandering platform. The basic component of the Wandering platform is the station. The station is an object of interest in the real world. A station consists of 4 stages. Go to the exact point on the map or in the museum. What do I do in front of the object? An activity that takes place in the real world using our senses, the smartphone and its application, or our imagination. Share, it's the outcome. The outcome that we share with our peers. Info is about the importance of the activity around the place. We can summarize the whole activity or the station idea in 1 sentence. A station is a place, a building, a tree, a statue, a heritage site, a work of art, or an artifact, or a tree, a natural element. Whenever you go, you can find something meaningful to do, an activity unique to this place. You may want to share the outcome of this activity with others or widen your horizons by getting more information about the place. Now, we will zoom in into the station. When visitors open the station, they see the directions to the place of interest. How do I direct a visitor to find the exhibit or the installation? During the course, we will study how to write a descriptive text, a text that challenges our student and will help him to reach the place of interest. You can see to the right Greta description for the exhibit in the Natural History Museum in London. We looked at the Erster with a lot of ribs and sharp teeth. It's about 5 people long. So we measure the exhibit and then she was able to describe it so people can reach the place. The next phase is the do. What is the appropriate activity in this place? How do I challenge my students and visitors? Here are some activity verbs that you can use. On the right side, there is an activity of Jeremy, a 6th grade student from London who wrote his idea as a scientist. The next phase is the share. We share an idea, a reflection, a thought. Here you see Irma Banderia mural in Pinerolo in northern Italy, where I was a visiting lecturer in the tourism high school. Irma was a local hero. She joined the partisan during the Second World War, and students expressed the idea of freedom in front of her mural. So the idea from slavery to freedom with students in front of the mural. The info phase. The info is the additional information about the specific activity. Here is a place to give your visitors additional knowledge. Authentic info is an interview with an expert. You can see the information that Greta wrote in her childish vocabulary. So now it's time for practice. Do you have questions? Till now, is the ideas that I convey clear to you? If you have any question, you can ask to open your mic or write in the chat. So we are looking at the aerial picture of Complutense University campus. The event took place at the Belle Arte faculty. I would like to show you a picture. I would like to ask you, what did I ask students to do if this is the picture that they upload as in the share? This is one picture, and here is the other picture. Raphael, I see that you turn on your mic. Do you have any idea? What did I ask them to do? Experimental activity that can be in the site, that is our subject. What did I ask them to do if these two pictures are the answer for the same learning mission? You can ask to open your mic, or we have two Andrea Torres and Andrea Lipka. You can write your ideas in the chat. What did I ask my student to perform if these are their ideas? Be creative, please. No ideas? Don't hesitate. Every answer we can consider every answer. It's about creativity. It's about thinking out of the box. So if you have something in mind, you're welcome to suggest it. Now I don't see the chat. I lost the chat. Extend the mind. This is very nice, but Bev, it's very nice, but can you explain more about it? Because it has to be connected to the place. Extended the mind is a very nice idea, but we can do it everywhere. What is so special about the facade here or the backyard here that is part of the Belle Art faculty that we can consider it as a learning activity? How can you, what would you learn something, experience, a concept that is related to art, because the faculty is Belle Arte. More ideas? So here is the station. The goal was find a spot that ignites your interest. The do phase was find a way to estimate the size of architectural element using your own body. And students in the share were asked to upload your measure the mass personal interpretation. As Leonardo said, man is the measure for all things. So this is the reason that 3 students chose to present the Vitruvian man in front of the back wall, and these students presented the width of the facade with their bodies. So here is an appropriate activity because we see that there are several ways to find solution that is correct. So this is a nice experimental learning mission activity that we will talk about during the course. Now let's do the vice versa. I will show you the outcome. Here, the station was in the Ethnobotanical Garden in Cholula, in Puebla, in Mexico, where I was a visiting lecturer last year. This picture was uploaded as well as this picture for the same activity. So, what did I ask visitor to visualize? They visualized a theme. What theme did I ask them to visualize in the Ethnobotanical Garden? So they uploaded these 2 images. Please raise your hand, open the mic, or write in the chat. We can analyze the picture. In both pictures, there are several elements. 4 elements here and 3 objects here. The objects are presented in order. Here they are in kind of one on the top of the other, and here they are one beside the other. Here we see the same blueberry, but in several stages. It's green, it's red, and it's like Bordeaux. It's ready, fresh and ready to eat. And here we see 3 different objects in different stages. So what did I ask visitors and participants to present? Do you have an idea? Here is the answer. Find 3 objects and create a timeline. So in the botanical garden, we can do many activities, but this activity was meant to make visitors, participants aware for the term of time around the botanical garden. Each group choose different objects and put them in order, different ways in order. So this is one activity in the botanical garden. The other activity is, a minute, I have to change to upload another presentation. In the botanical garden, we can also collect scientific data. We can estimate how many bamboo are there in 1 meter. And you see that we can program in the station the numerator and the counter for the bamboo. And in the middle, you can see the result. In Vienna, participant estimated how many bamboo there are in 1 meter, and the result in this cake. So this is another activity that you will design for the student. During the course, you will be able to choose places of interest. Those places will become the center of experimental experiences that you will create on the platform. You are free to choose the place of interest and the subject matter that you would like your students to learn about and experience. We are going to give you a glimpse of the process. Here are 3 images. To the left is a passage in the heart of Pinerolo. Look carefully to the right and you will see the graffiti. In the center, there is a bench. The bench is in the Albert Dock beside the Thames in London. On the left, there is a water tower in Nahariya in Israel. Please raise your hand or write in the chat what activity is the appropriate activity to demonstrate here. Choose any one of the 3 and write your answer, please. Or you can open your mic. It was a chance for you to examine to take part. I will be very happy to hear your ideas. I think the course, what's nice about the course in previous courses, I had participants from all over, from Poland, Italy, Mexico, Argentina, and it's a time for you to bring your culture, your expertise, and write your ideas. I can share with you students' ideas. In Pinerolo, Marco, who created the station, asks visitors for ideas for the municipality to keep the place nice and clean. Or how can we fight vandalism in the city center? So this activity is about social service and social values that we would like to convey. Which mathematical concept or phenomenon that is related to physics can we demonstrate here beside the water tower or the bench? We can see from the answers in the chat, this is usually happen. That you have different answer and different activities. So now we are going to see the evaluation side. During the course, you will create with your students activities that is around your chosen place, a city or a museum. If you are an English instructor, it's a great chance for you to experience with your students to practice their language. That's what was in Pinerolo. I was invited by the English department, and we worked for a week with the students and they practice their English skills. If you are in the science area, we will can do activities around science or financial education. One participant from Argentina practiced with her students financial education. So here is our evaluation site for our student. We see Claudia name, which is highlighted in orange. So the stations, the pictures that beside them, there is a yellow line. These are the pictures that she created. The green line is the stations and activities that she uploaded her comments. And from this, we can see that we can evaluate our students in a qualitative and a quantitative way. The course will be in Moodle. Every week we will have a synchronized meeting. Then you will present your personal project. You will be free to choose your own personal project. During the synchronized meeting, I will draw the framework for the project. We will discuss the concepts and the advantages of your idea for mobile learning. There will be 11 or more face-to-face classes. And then we will try to organize them according to your time zone. So the idea is here in one slide. The first step is students will create their own content around the city. Teachers will create games for target groups. We will create scientific experiences, and you will be able to evaluate your students' activities. Your classmates will come from four corners of the world. That is so exciting about the course. You will be able to exchange ideas and hear original opinions for your projects from professionals that live on the other side of the globe. So here are the main topics that we will present and try out. We will, you will be able to follow the course on the Moodle site. For each meeting. Each lesson is followed by the presentation, and I upload on YouTube and all the materials that will help you to create your own units. I'm very proud to present Magdalena project. Here is Magdalena. She is from Poznan, Poland, and she created with her students the teens touristic map around Poznan. Luckily, she presented her project in 3 European conferences already, and I'm very proud of her. Here you see a project from Nahariya, Israel. This project was chosen for UNESCO Best Mobile Learning Practice last June. Nesia, the English teacher, will be happy to answer your question if you have. And this is her project. And now the mic is yours. I will be happy to answer your questions. You will get a presentation and additional site, but it's your time. You can open your mic and write me a mail or open or write a question now in the chat. Do you have any question? I would be happy to answer your question. Mariana, very interesting. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Mariana. Wow, Mariana, I will be happy that you will create content in Chinese. I read now the chat that I missed, so sorry that I didn't see all of your answers in the chat. Efrat, where do you teach? Thank you, Mariana. Thank you. Yes, we use it for teaching languages. I will now put you in the chat the site that we created with Amal student. Amal is a high school network, and you will be able to see activities from many places. I came on late. Is it possible to access this at another time? Yes, yes. There will be a recording, Bev, and you will receive the recording, and I will be happy. You have here in my mail and you can contact me and I will be able to answer. Where do you come from, Bev? I put in the chat a MAL project in Israel. There are 4 English teachers that choose to work on the platform and create interactive maps for the city of Nahariya, Dimona, and Harod. So you will see different places. You can show it to your students and they ask them to comment, so they will be able to learn something about Israel, about the kibbutz, and to see how it comes. How is it going to be in real life? Rafael, I promised you to put Puebla, so you will have it in Spanish. So in a minute, I will. Here is the site for you, Spanish speakers. Puebla site. Rafael. Andrea, thank you. And I put a Puebla site for you in Spanish, so you can look at it and have an idea about it. Bev from Canada. Oh, and what is your, where do you teach? What do you teach? What level of education do you teach? What is your expertise? Arya, can we open Bev mic, please?
The mics are open. They have to click on
Bev,
it.
click on the mic, please. It will be nice to hear you.
Okay, I actually teach in a Bachelor of Education program in a university setting in Nova Scotia on the eastern side of Canada.
Great. Sorry, but I didn't hear. Where do you teach?
I teach in a Bachelor of Education program, preparing students for teaching at a university in eastern Nova Scotia.
Great, great. So I think for bachelor degree, it will be very useful for you to get the idea, because in this site, I have art teacher as well as the geography, archaeology, math teacher, and language teacher. So as I understand, you teach pedagogy. And, do you teach pedagogy?
No, actually, well, I do. My first interest is really science education for elementary and secondary teachers. And then my second interest is social studies.
Great. So science education, I presented in twice in the Science X site, the Science Museum conferences in Trento and in Graz. And we use the platform for science education, like monitoring a tree, citizen science. Every kid can adopt a tree and monitor it around the year, the insects and the birds around it. So you can do this kind of scientific
Yes,
map.
I'm familiar with the citizen science model. Very familiar with that. So yes.
So the platform is a supportive platform for students to create their own content, and for the community to use this content for and we create together big data
Yes.
about temperature in the city, about trees in the city or insects in the city. I wrote an article about my last year. We worked with 8 schools in one city, a medium-sized city with like 80,000 inhabitants. And I wrote an article about it. I published it in LinkedIn. I will send you it in a few minutes. So you will have an idea about the way you will be able to use it with your students, and they will be able to use it with their students.
That sounds quite interesting. I would appreciate that. Thank you.
In a minute. We monitor climate temperature, climate change around classrooms all around the city.
Excellent.
So this is the article I send you.
Thank you.
Then, as you see, the platform is also for evaluating. So we evaluated our students' achievement on the platform, and I wrote another article about it, and I will send you in a minute.
That would be really appreciated. Thank you very much.
Here they are.
That's great. I'll check those out.
Super. Thank you very much, Bev. Thank you for coming in, and I will be very happy to collaborate with you.
That sounds really interesting. Can you just review because I came in late, the 4 stages of the station? I know the second was do and then share and info.
In a
What was
minute,
the first?
I will change the. I will change the.
I think it was the slide before that.
Yeah. It's the slide before. It's these are 2 presentation. A minute, I don't see it. Arya, can you hear me? Arya?
I put the presentation. Look at the.
I don't find it now. Where is the first presentation? Can you put the first presentation?
I put it now. Look at the screen.
Okay. Oh, Toda. Thank you. Thank you very much. So here is the scheme.
I think it was the one before that. It had the 4 stages on it.
No, this is the scheme. There are 4 stages that we can play with them: the go, the do, the share, and the info.
Okay,
Which is the
let's go.
particular info. And in this slide, I